most likely. There we go. So yeah, let's go. Good morning, everyone. If you're watching this in the morning, and good evening, everyone, if you're watching this in the evening. You know the drill. Good night, and you can pick one, actually. That's the good thing about watching videos on YouTube. It's totally up to you when you want to watch them. That's a great feature, you know, that you can do that. But anyways, today is Friday, and many of you guys have seen me drive this exact thing I'm doing now many times before. Doing this exact thing, picking up containers and driving in this exact area. And today is no different, as far as I know. I haven't gotten any orders to drive anywhere else than this southern heating facility. As you all know, I do go to a lot every day. So we're gonna head down there today. After that, I do not know. There's no plan as of right now. But let's say I only do this thing, drive down there and back up. I'm still gonna have a full working week, kind of, in hours. Due to how many hours I work a week, kind of. So even though, let's say we just go down there and back up again, it's still gonna be a 40-hour week, I think, something like that. And this is in the morning. I just got my truck, went down here, pick up the containers. It's 7:30 in the morning, kind of, not kind of, 7:27. Ah, I see a problem. Let's see. Not a problem, I can see that some of the wood chips was too light. Yeah, more of them as well. Hopefully the car behind recognizes that some stuff will fall off. It shouldn't do that though, because the thing is, this has been standing outside in the sun all after yesterday. We made this. We did make those wood chips on the container, on the truck and on the trailer kind of early, around 3 o'clock yesterday, and it's been standing in the sun ever since, so until this morning. And because when we make them in the beginning, there's water in the wood, so it stays put. But yeah, now it stops. It's just like the first few seconds some of the wood chips fall off, because when it dries up, they're not heavy. I think we have it now, it's fine. Yeah. So good morning, well, for me at least, as I said in the beginning. We're heading down south, perfect weather for driving. And today I was just thinking about having a small chat, at least in the beginning of this video. Maybe something fun happens later on today, I do not know. But I was thinking to talk a bit about brands, you know, truck brands. There we have Scania, local shop. Oh, the sun. Yeah, anyways, the local Scania is right there next to me. And I was thinking, if any of you guys drive trucks, well, it actually doesn't matter if you drive or don't, but if anyone has any preference to what they like the most, kind of brands, I drive a Scania. I think Scania is a perfectly decent truck. A lot of people would say this is the, at least in Scandinavia, I would say this is like the best truck ever. And I would say it highly depends on what you're doing. So Scania is a decent truck. I wouldn't say anything else. It's very good. I would say it's very good. It has a lot of power. It has a V8 engine. That's very important for a lot of truckers, I know. The design is good. The seats are quite comfy. So yeah, Scania. I think it's a perfectly fine truck. But then again, you have like Volvo that has, in my opinion, well, we can disagree obviously if you guys see otherwise, but I think Volvo has better brakes. I also think Volvo has a better gearbox. And I think Volvo have, I would say the design is isn't any worse than, okay, I'm gonna let you go. I think the design of a Volvo is quite nice to look at as well. So for me personally, Volvo is totally fine truck. I would say almost, I would put Scania and Volvo next to each other almost. What I don't like about the Volvo is the fuel consumption on Volvos is quite high compared to Scania if you have the same engine power. And also I feel like Volvo doesn't have, like Scania is very decent at going at a straight line. And if you drive trucks you might understand what I'm talking about. Like Volvo, you'll be sitting like this a lot when you drive with the steering wheel. I don't know if you guys have ever, your experience if you drive a Volvo. I've driven a lot of Volvo. And my experience is that you have to sit like this to keep the truck going straight, kind of. That's maybe a bit exaggerated just there, but yeah. And Scania is more going, it's easier to keep in a straight line. Although I do feel that Scania is a bit more wobbly, if you know what I mean. It's more, you don't have to move the steering wheel as much to keep a Scania in a straight line. But there's a difference. It's hard to explain for me, but yeah, anyways. And Mercedes has a lot of good trucks as well if you are driving on tarmac and flat surface. If any of you guys driving or girls driving Mercedes trucks, your experience about that? Because I did drive a lot of these Actros, it's called Actros 510. And my issue with that was the gearbox was strange. Because it was like going from 2nd gear to 10th gear just directly sometimes. Didn't trust it at all. And winter, you don't want to drive in automatic settings in winter time because you never know what that gearbox is going to do. But I would say the Mercedes trucks that I have driven, at least, has the best, shall we just call it like free rolling? You know, when it just goes to neutral and start rolling to save fuel. I would say Mercedes has the top of the system. But the sound is annoying, the air sound, if anyone knows what I mean. So yeah, interesting to hear what you guys think is the best trucks. And also the American style trucks, the very cool trucks, I have no clue how that is. Never ever driven a American style truck. And DAF trucks I think are cool. I like those. But then again, suppose it has a lot to do with where you're going and what you're doing. Like for me, I prefer Scania and Volvo because I'm doing a lot of up in the forest mountain area driving. So I want something that have a lot of pulling power. And you can argue and say, yeah, but like if you have a 500 horsepower truck, it's more than enough to the forest. And yes, it is. During the summertime, it is more than enough. But during winter time, when your truck needs the extra pulling power to be able to like clear a hill, you know, to get up there, to not have to change gear a lot, because that's gonna ruin your day kind of. If your truck starts, if you need to go down a gear up a hill because you don't have the power necessary to go over the hill at winter time, that's a half day of getting your truck loose again, or get it moving again. But I think the new ones, I really like the design of those. And they have the huge cabin. I've been into one of those kind of new ones, just checking out how it looks inside. I think it looked kind of cool. So, not sure how it's going to be as a hook lift in the forest. I have no idea, never tried it. MAN, M-A-N trucks. Not my cup of tea at all. And of course we are all different, what we think is looks good and not, but for me, I think I'm just not used to seeing them. And this is, you know, in Norway, Sweden, I think at least Norway, Sweden, maybe Finland as well, we are kind of spoiled at driving Scania and Volvo all the time. And also the service, you know, to buy the truck and to be able to service the truck, to keep them running. Scania and Volvo is like very established in Norway, so that's also, I think, a large reason why we drive these kind of trucks. Because we did, at my job, we did talk about maybe buying a DAF at one point. 530 horsepower DAF, I think it was. But the issue is, if you have to do something with that truck, then you have to go all the way to Hamar from Lillehammer, and it's kind of a long drive just to have service on a truck. And now we just have to drive, you know, what is it, 15 minutes? 20 minutes, 15, something like that. And same with Volvo. Very short distance for us to fix and repair our trucks. So I think that has a lot to do with it, why we don't drive anything else at my workplace. So what do you guys think? What is the best truck? Oh, that's a hard, you know, that question doesn't work, does it? At all. What kind of truck brand do you prefer? Is more like it. Yeah, it'd be interesting to know what people think. And for me, like, Scania is perfect. It's perfectly fine truck. I enjoy driving this truck. I think it looks good. Its sound is okay, good sound from the engine, V8. But it's not necessary, like, if my boss calls me and say, hey, I have a new truck for you and it's gonna be a Volvo, I'm not gonna say, oh no, I'm not gonna drive a Volvo. I'm gonna say, oh, thank you, and I'm gonna drive that truck because I think that's a perfectly fine truck. If you say, hey, I bought you a MAN truck, I would maybe say that, oh, yes, that's a thing. Hey, and speaking of the truck, here it is. Maybe the new design is not too bad, but still, it's not for me. And when it comes to American style trucks, I think for me, all of them look almost the same. Almost. Like the new ones. And I would say the one I think looks the best is Peterbilt. I think that's the one I like the most, the design of. And it has to be, maybe there are a lot of new designs, but this is, I'm thinking about a bit more older type. What is it called? You guys probably already know this when I'm speaking of this. It's called, is it called 5 something? 5, 6, 8, 5, something like that, maybe? Correct me if I'm wrong. But I really do like the design of those. Kind of like, looks like 80s truck, if you guys know what I mean. I think those are pretty cool. And it's somewhat a shame that we can't use them here. But they're just gonna be too long. And to be honest, I wouldn't enjoy driving a full-scale American truck in Norway at all. I know that some people do have them here over here, and but they have shortened them down. So the trailer is a bit shorter than a standard European trailer. And they also moved the fifth wheel forwards, so everything is like tightened down. And here we have a colleague of mine loading. No, this, nope, it's not. It looked like it had the same colors. So our trucks that are lumber trucks are getting new design now. So the old ones are green and the new ones are going to be blue like mine. So they're easier to recognize at the road. And still going to be Volvos. I've spoken to the guys and they said no, they need Volvos. And I understand, my understanding is because of the brakes and the driveline for Volvo is very good for forest, to driving in the forest with a heavy load, 60 tons. And from my experience driving Volvo, I can understand what they're saying, like, because the brakes on a Volvo is very good in my opinion. But the negatives are, if the new engine, like the old 750 horsepower engines that we have in our Volvo trucks, those uses a lot of fuel. We have 770 brake horsepower Scanias, and they use about, I would say in American and English terms, a gallon less of diesel for every 100 kilometers. I would say like 3.5, 3.6, around there someplace. Like, we have a 770 horsepower Scania that moves machinery. It's a semi-truck, and that semi-truck moves a lot of heavy machinery all the time. And that's why it's a 770 horsepower truck. And that truck uses, I think they said, about 5.8 liters of diesel every 10 kilometers. 5.8 on average with load. And this is a heavy duty thing. I think you can drive about 80 tons. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think they mentioned it for me before, around 80 tons. And that truck uses, 5.8. I think they said 5.8 on average. So, yeah, quite good. Mine uses 4.6 on average, and this is 650 horsepower. But the Volvo trucks, and those Volvos drive a lot of down with weight on them, lumber. They go up and down, obviously, but they go empty and pick up the lumber and go. Of course they do, because if not, it would be kind of silly going up there with load and then turn around and go back down. But yeah, so they also drive like 50% of the time empty, and they use above 8 liters of fuel every 10 kilometers. So what is that? 2 gallons and some every 10 kilometers. Yeah, because 1 gallon is 3.8, is it not? So they use a lot of fuel. And I've spoken to some guys who are driving 770 horsepower Scanias in the forest, and they say the same. They use about 5.7, 5.8 liters. In this area where we live. It's gonna, of course, be something else if it's totally flat. And it's also gonna be totally different if it's very steep all the time. So that's some of the negatives on those Volvos. Look good, a lot of them though. And what is some of you guys' take on the electric trucks? What do you guys think? Twice the price, half the distance. I'm not too sure. So we have ordered a couple of them. I know. But they are twice as expensive as a normal truck at the same type of truck. And they have half the distance. But you know, this is kind of the way a lot of the government companies, government work. Because we do drive for like some of the places we do drive are for you know, the government, kind of. Not the government, that's the wrong word, but yeah. What is the word I'm looking for? It doesn't really matter, but it's not private. So, and they kind of demand that you have to have trucks that are electric or in some way doesn't use diesel fuel to get the job. But I think it's kind of silly a lot of the times, because it's so expensive doing that, and at the end, who is gonna pay for it is you and me. Because when everything we do, like if all the machinery for doing stuff for the public, for the people, has to be twice as expensive, then what's gonna happen? Everything is gonna get a lot more expensive to do, and then you and me and everyone else, you know, who are paying for these services. Yeah. So not 100% convinced I like that. But anyways, I've been rambling for a long time. I'm gonna go down and deliver, and I'm gonna see you guys in what's gonna be for you like a second, and we're gonna find out if something new is happening today, or if I'm just gonna park up and end it here. Well, talk to you guys in a second. And now we have returned again. Something new is happening. We are actually just the truck itself without the trailer driving and going to empty a container with horse manure. I think the right term is for that. We just been to a place where they are gathering a lot of horses for sale or something. And I'm not sure what they were doing, like exhibition or what it's called, like showing off the animals, horses, and they needed this to be emptied, so that's what we're doing now. So all the wood chips for today was delivered and we're done. So now we're doing tying up some loose ends. So we're gonna empty this one and deliver it back. I couldn't record in there because there's a lot of people there. A lot of people everywhere, children, adults, everything, and I don't want to, you know, record them. That's yeah, it's not doable at all. A lot of nice horses as well. I'm not into, like, for me horses is just like any other animal. I think there are I don't know, I don't think anything about it actually. Like, I don't think anything negative about them or positive. They're just horses for me. But I understand that people think it's funny and like nice to be doing that kind of stuff, working around horses. So a lot of people there. But anyways, we're gonna just empty the container, and after that we need to grab a different container. It's for gravel and stuff. It's a dump truck container thingy, and we're going to deliver that to some of my colleagues who are working with removing the gravels on the road from the winter, you know, as they use in winter time to make it easier to drive on the snow and icy roads. So they're tidying that up with the front loaders and they need an empty container to put all the gravel in. So I'm gonna find one of those and deliver that somewhere. Not sure where it is. They told me to, my boss told me to find one of those containers and go to the main office and talk to the guy who works with, that has to do with the winter road maintenance things, and talk to him about the location when we're done with this. So maybe we can record that as well and see what that is. And also it's kind of nice, you know, to when you drive hook lift and stuff like this happens on this kind of days, because the time flies by so quickly when you get like, let's say 3 or 4 different jobs you need to do back and forth, swapping out the containers. That's a lot of fun with these kind of trucks. Like, the time flies by, and I enjoy just moving around wood chips, but that's kind of, you know, that's, yeah, it's bread and butter kind of. That's the thing you do every day. And obviously stuff you do every day can be tedious sometimes, and getting this kind of jobs in between is like kind of refreshing. So yeah, I'm just gonna go up and empty this container and jump back when we're starting with the next project, the next job. Because this is not interesting to see this delivery. It's just gonna empty a bucket of horse manure. It's not gonna be anything interesting. So when we start with the next job, I'm just gonna jump right back. So see you guys in yeah, 1 second. Yeah, so now we have swapped to this kind of thing. I'm just having the camera in my hands right now. Just want to show you guys. So I'm just checking that everything is in order. So like, these chains are not connected to anything, so when we try to empty, yeah, you know, stuff gets stuck. Just checking that there's nothing, no rocks or anything that I need to make sure doesn't go anywhere. That's fine. Oh. And also that these are where they need to be, these things, because these, if I use this thing, I connect those to this place, and then I can operate this thing. So yeah, chains is in place, it's locked on top, so that's good. Yeah. Whoop. So everything is in order. Yeah, I'm just gonna find out where we need to put this, and if it's a place I can record or not. I'm gonna find out, and if it's totally fine for recording that area, I'm gonna jump back to you guys and we're gonna have a look and see what that is. So just a small update on the next job in line. So yeah, let's go. And there it is. So I wasn't too sure if I could record in there, but I think it's fine. So I just left that there, and they're gonna fill that up with when they are cleaning the streets, kind of. Let's see, can we get out of here without taking that fence with us? Yes, we can. So as far as I know now, there you go, I am done for today, as far as I know. It's gonna be interesting to find out. I'm gonna talk to my my boss and ask him if there's something else he wants me to do. If not, then we are yeah, we're done. So today has been a different kind of day, different kind of video also. less showing what I'm doing, more just talking to you guys. But sometimes that could be interesting as well, entertaining. Hello, Mr. Wide Car. Here we go. It's good. Let's go. So, I'm pretty sure we're all done now. So, I'll just leave you guys here, and until next time, see ya.